It's an old but persistent problem. How do we solve deforestation? In tropical countries, there are three main types of forest policies. You have the regulatory policies put forth by the central government, international REDD+ incentives that finance forest conservation projects in the country, and sustainable supply chain initiatives that are organized by the private sector. Together, this results in a messy mix of public and private actors designing interventions all at different scales. Solving deforestation really requires solving this governance puzzle.
Tropical deforestation is really a wicked problem. Given the multiplicity of actors involved in policy interventions to control deforestation, it's really important to promote some coordination between these actors to minimize redundancies and maximize complementarity between these multiple ways to control deforestation. So we analyzed how a couple of Latin American countries have dealt with the issue. We focused on Brazil, Colombia, and Costa Rica.
What we found was that government commitment is really a critical first step in that policy sequence, and that by taking on the institutional reforms for better law enforcement and better forest monitoring capacity, that actually opens the door to some of those more targeted supply chain initiatives. REDD+ is important in setting governments on that pathway of building up institutional capacity.
What we're also identifying is what we've called the forest governance 3.0. The forest governance 1.0 was when most of the focus was a single policy intervention, protected areas. But very quickly, I think most countries identified that that was not sufficient. That you need, what we've called forest governance 2.0, you need to add different layers of interventions. But these were largely uncoordinated. So what we are pleading for is this forest governance 3.0, where there's a much more coordinated, much more intentional policy mix that includes an intentional sequencing of all these interventions.